Hey guys, today we are going to talk about Article 3, the judicial branch. So, we've been talking about the three branches and the separation of powers and the different roles or different powers that each branch has. So, you have the legislative branch that's there to make laws, the executive branch is there to enforce the laws, and then the judicial branch is there to interpret the laws. But what does interpret the laws actually mean? So, I always like to start off with an activity that will help some of you better understand what it actually means to interpret the laws and why it's important that we have the judicial branch. So, first of all, a law is a set of rules and standards by which a society governs itself. And it's there to help resolve conflict and protect individuals against the government's power, defines what a criminal act is, and determines what the punishments are for certain criminal acts. But sometimes laws are unclear and they need someone to interpret them, someone who would be unbiased. And the solution was the judicial branch. So the judicial branch is there to determine if someone was right or wrong, if they're guilty or innocent. Should they have to pay a fine? Should they go to prison? Should they have to give money to someone? And so they're there looking at what do the laws actually mean. So they're there to interpret them. So here we go with the activity. So it's called No Vehicles in the Park. The city of Beautifica has established a lovely park in the city. The park is a place where people can find grass, trees, flowers, and quiet. In addition, there are playgrounds and picnic areas. A road runs through the park. Now the road is closed. The city legislatures passed a law saying that no vehicles are allowed in the park. The city legislatures wish to preserve some elements of nature undisturbed. The law, no vehicles in the park, seems clear, but some disputes have arisen over its meaning as police begin to enforce the law. Interpret the law in the following situations, keeping in mind what the law says as well as what the lawmakers intended. Examine each situation and decide whether you will uphold the ticket each person received for having a vehicle in the park. Explain the reasons for your choices. So, like it said, the law, no vehicles in the park, it seems really, really clear. But as you start to read through some of these examples, you will start to see that, oh, maybe it's not as clear as I thought. The first one, number one, Tony lives on one side of the city and works on the other. He drove through the park to save 10 minutes and received a ticket. So, what do you think? Should he keep the ticket or not? I'm assuming in this case, this one, most people tend to agree that he deserves the ticket. Number two, to keep the park clean, trash barrels are located throughout the area. The sanitation department drove a truck into the park to collect the trash in the barrels and received a ticket. What do you think? Should they have to pay the ticket? This one becomes a little bit trickier because you may have said yes because it would, driving a giant truck through there could cause some disturbances. It could also lead to pollution. But guess what? If no one's going to be able to pick up the trash barrels, there's pollution. Oh, you know what, you guys? I forgot. I think this will help you a little bit too. I want you to look up what does vehicle actually mean. Oh, look at me. I'm so nice. Here it is. So what is a vehicle? What's the definition? Any means in or by which someone travels or something is carried or conveyed. A means of transport. A conveyance moving on wheels, runners, tracks, or the like, as a cart, sled, automobile, or tractor. All right, so hopefully that will also help you with the rest of the definitions. All right, number three. Olivia decides to ride her bike through the park. She is given a ticket. What do you think? Should she have to pay the ticket? So according to that definition, a bike's a vehicle, so she should have to pay it. But do you think that was actually what the intention was? Because is she really causing much of a disturbance or causing pollution? Number 4, Ben visited the park and received a ticket while riding in his wheelchair. So in this case, if you go by a strict interpretation, Ben should have to pay the ticket, right? A wheelchair is a vehicle. But I don't think that that was the intention. Otherwise, Ben's not going to be able to go and enjoy the park. Number 5, an ambulance drove through the park on the way to the hospital with a dying patient. The shortest route was through the park. The ambulance driver received a ticket. And the last one, Sophie took her baby to the park in a stroller and received a ticket while pushing the stroller along the path. Should Sophie have to pay that ticket? All right. I don't think any of you are mothers or fathers at this point, but let me tell you, if you have more than one child, you need, and like, I mean, you have a baby, you need the stroller. Okay. There's no way I would go to the park with a baby and 2 more children without a stroller. It'd be crazy. So, again, I don't think that this is what they meant, but a stroller is a vehicle. All right. So, I hope that that gave you a better understanding of what interpret the law actually means and why it is important. This is like an activity that I usually like love because I like seeing you guys get all into it and start arguing with one another about what the law means. But unfortunately, I am not there again. But let me know if you have any questions about that.